If you guys live on Bitcoin, like I do, this is a great, you can do this US or Canada. But what you can do is give gift cards for actually everything. And you can think of, so you're living on Bitcoin and stuff like that. You want to, make whether you're USA or, let me do, go way down and even to Canada, where I'm at. And you can do Uber Eats or games, gift cards, and you need. It's a great little thing there if you're using that kind of stuff. The other one, like I usually put out, is Lend. They're Bitcoin backed loans where you're using your Bitcoin as a collateral. So they don't actually take your Bitcoin, which is sweet. They just use it as collateral and send you cash. So you pay off credit cards. This I specifically like I've put in a lot of other videos, guys, is I like because and I use it myself a lot, is because if you have a loan and the price of Bitcoin goes up, it'll actually pay for your loan by itself, which is quite handy. And you don't get taxed on it as well. Bitcoin, guys, lately has been running kind of flat again. So, get the opportunity to drop a little bit more in there again. I've been doing the same as it kind of pulls back every time. I take my whole paycheck all the time and roll it right into Bitcoin anyway. So I kind of tier it along the way anyway. But if I see a lot of times, when I get paid here and it's starting to pull back like it does in here and here, I'll just kind of wait for it to finish off and then I'll buy it. So you're hitting, a little closer to bottom. That way I get a little bit of price in the future and so on and so forth. Which comes in quite handy. Markets were kind of weird the other day. Which have happened for a while. Which happened for a while. A bit confusing to know how to go in. That's why a lot of times, guys, I go into like I do over here. Like it's investing.com. And as I put out here, go into indexes and then hit technical and make watch list in there. And that way I can kind of figure out kind of the stronger stocks along the way. Dow Jones stuff is looking like it's all in strong buys from all the way from the hourly to the monthly. So you could, I guess, feed into it. I prefer myself looking at taking the sector and then going back into here and then as I have in my list here. I created all these lists with all the stocks in amongst those. So if you're doing home construction, then you can just start flowing through these guys and see who's the best guy. So if you pop out here in a month, let's go out distance that way. You want the bigger time frame, guys, so you can kind of see where the trend's going. The yellow line here is the 50-day, and this is the 200. So you always, if you're buying in an up ways, you can just you want your 50-day above the 200-day, and you want your stock price above your 50-day. So like Linear Corporation here, we're looking at you get kind of toppy, so something you want to be careful with a lot of times. And as you can see, a lot of times, guys, when it crossed over here, That's why if you're a long-term investor, like you're just investing, you can take something like this in the future. And as long as you're 50 days above 200 day, um, in here, it it did jump across here. I would probably wait till it came up and above or touched here, and then I would put a limit order just above the price, and if it triggered, take off from there. And then along the lines, if you don't have another stock you want to jump into, you can just every time you just buy here, you just buy more, buy, buy. This one's the double one, so I probably wouldn't have done that one. I'd wait for the pullback and then hit another buy, hit another buy down here again, and then you just keep adding to it along the way through ever. I think Linear, I think it has dividend. Yeah, so you're making a dividend on here as well along the way. It's one way of doing it if you're doing long term or whatever. But yeah, I'll go out here to the month when I find out from the trend, which we learned back here, that home construction was a strong buy. So then you would come back into home construction where I have all stocks, and then you just kind of start feeding through and trying to find that right stock to show that it's starting to move in the opposite direction. Now, Toll Brothers were flat here. So yeah, I'd probably wait till it crossed above here. You could put, a limit order up there if you want to. I would probably just wait. There's no hurry in anything. This one showed a new buy here. I was looking at this the other day, and then you get into here. So you could, since in the monthly you got a new buy back in this area. That's why I put this line in here. And we're above the 50 days, above 200 day. You could have bought here. Possibly would have got stopped out here. Or if you took this one, then you put a limit order above, yeah, might have triggered, might not have. Actually, wouldn't have, because you would have had a limit order on that, and the next day it didn't touch it, so it would just cancel it in. So you could just, wait it out, or you would have gone up here, put a limit order in, still again when touched it, and then you start seeing it pulling back. So then you just kind of wait it out. And also these little dojis, guys, that usually shows a trend reversal a lot of times. That's why I like about the Heikin-Achi candlesticks, is because it takes all that noise out. And as you can see down here, you get a doji, and then you start moving in another direction. They usually, when you start getting candlesticks on both ends, or the wicks on both ends, that's starting to show it's teetering out as well. When you get a nice big candlesticks like these ones with the wicks only on one side, it just kind of shows the direction it's going. And then you got a doji. So then you want to be careful in here, or it's just a pullback, it didn't break this trend line. And then go here. Or you can start chasing if you want to from behind these guys and just follow down until it takes the other way. Sometimes what I'll do with if I'm in a position in a long term here, and I'm in a long term holding it a little bit, any of these little pullbacks here, sometimes I'll do is I'll go below it and put in a put limit order and see if it'll trigger. If it gets triggered, then when it changes to a buy, then I'll sell that option right off. Go a couple months out just so you're covered, and you want to be kind of at the money, and then it'll just make a little bit of money on that little pullback. Don't have to do that. You just wait it out and then just buy a little more, but it just kind of accelerates my account a little bit more when you do that kind of thing. Or, if you really want to be sophisticated, when you get into sell spot like this, And we probably could even go back to, 4 hour if you wanted to go that way. When you got in here, you could actually do sell a call if you got really sophisticated option trades. So then you would they would give you money for that option, and then you can just then even either put it into a as well. You could put it into another put. So you buy a put, so you sell a put and buy a put, or with that free money, or you can take and buy the stock. I like nowadays that because you can buy stocks at $100 something like that. So if you did sell it, you could just take those dollars and then just buy it, put it in a short on this one if you wanted to go that way, or just wait it out and just hold that kind of cash, or you can use it and buy something else too. That's the other thing too you can do is when you're buying a stock, you could sell a call against it all the time too. That'll leverage your account as well. So we're still looking for that perfect stock. And sometimes, guys, there's just no stock. So this one's kind of taken off for a new thing, but it's record high, so you could chase it, but that's on my world risky. I would sooner wait for a pullback and then maybe buy into it. Kind of like what Corning's doing here. It's kind of doing a pullback. I'm kind of going flat. See, you could buy in here or buy, put a limited order up here in case it does take off, and then you can go from there, I guess, too, if you want to do something like that. I do that a lot of times. And we just keep on trucking down here, try and find somebody that looks like this. You got a new buy on the monthly. You get a stick there that's got a little wick and then no wick. I bet you this one looks good this way. But 50 is above 200, and we're moving into a buy. So yeah, you can put a limited order up in here and getting ready for it to go. Let's take a look and see what 4 hours giving us to see. We bottomed out here. We're doing a little pullback here. So yeah, you could put a limit order above here. Wait for it. Keep coming down with it. Or what you could do, because if it turns, then you can make a little bit more money, and then you can on the next day or whatever, when you're there, you can wait for this to just keep pulling your limit order down, which a lot of accounts will let you do. Just keep moving along and until it gets to the bottom, then you're getting the best price. Because sometimes at opening it'll pull back. As long as it doesn't go below there, then just play with it till it gives you what you want. So that's something I a lot of times do, guys. That way, that's looking really good too. I don't like this little pullback, and then we're doing another little pullback here. So again, you could put a limit order in here. Let's see what the 4 hour shows on this one. Sometimes we're doing a little pullback here, and see we're getting another little doji here, so you could go above these and put in a limit order. And I like the limit orders, guys, just because if it you never want to really chase a stock, so you with the limit order, it kind of gives you that freedom to go, okay, if it goes the other way, then you don't get locked in. You're not chasing something. So if it does something like this, you got an opportunity to get in here a lot lower if it doesn't trigger your limit order. So I like them that way. Mohawk's still going down. So that's what I do. Come back out of here and I'll roll back over here to the indexes. Nasdaq's going up. So we could look at too, buying maybe above here. It jumps in. We ride that or put it in a call or sell a put and give me some money. All depends on how advanced you are, or if you just want to live, conservative. Right here, you could use a monthly chart if you want to. You could buy right here, anywhere. I'd probably roll out, get a better spot. So you probably put a limit order above here, and then when it triggers, and then just ride it. Keep just wait it out, and it's going to come back up here one day, just like it did here. As long as it stays above this 50-day, then yeah, you just do a long-term invest, just one more, stock for your portfolio that you want to build into. So that's why I go into here, pick all out these strong, or like I can buy the index itself, which I do sometimes too, like gold miners. That stock, when it comes up, I would probably just buy the index itself instead of or if you want to be super conservative, and you don't have a lot of time on your hands to look at the markets and things like that, then you can just buy these, as these strong buys come in, then you go into, I can go back over here. I also have another watch list of indexes. So when we're, dealing with XLF or, you can roll through these guys when you get the strong buy like the other guys had there. You find students church. So yeah, the Qs. What gold was still doing? I have gold, guys, in my portfolio. This makes me nervous, but because we got a triple top here. Kind of feel with the market, so it should come a little bit higher. But you want to be careful on that one. There's home builders. I think a home construction, I think. Software. There's home construction. So we saw home construction was strong. I get that on a buy. So then come back over here. We came down here from the high, pulled down to retest to the 50-day moving average. I use the exponential. I like it best. So in here, if you're doing multiple buys, depending on what you want to do, you can do calls to be a little bit safer on your limit of what you want to lose, so you know what you're going to lose. If sometimes I've done that, just gone out, a couple weeks and started in here, or a month. Or if you buy the stock, you can just start buying these ones. So you buy some here, figure out what you want to use in your portfolio. I would go only about 50%, or 1%. And with that, guys, doesn't matter if you got $1 million account or a $500 account or a $300 account. 1% or 0.5% is a 0.5%. Doesn't matter, what size of dollars you have. And nowadays with fractional shares, you can just put in $50 or $25 or whatever you want. And so then you start buying here and buy there and buy there again, and just kind of wait for it to take off. Or what you can do is every time I get these buy signals, you can put a limit order above there, didn't trigger, got to buy here, put a limited order above here, again, didn't trigger, got to buy here, put a limit order across here, still didn't buy. Or what you can do is put limit orders in here instead of it ending on the day. Good to cancel and just you can start tiering in there. So you got one there, another one here, another one here, and wait for them. Then they'll, this one would have triggered here one day, and then this guy would eventually trigger when these little guys start to take off again. But right now, as you can see, it's right along there, but it should take off because we got all, like we are showing back here, we had home construction had strong bias in I have all these with hourly, 5 hour, daily, weekly, monthly. So you should get, 1, 2, 3, 5, areas where you got it strong, it's good chances that you're gonna get a move on that in the up side of things. These days here, guys, I have in here is there's emerging markets. I haven't looked at it for a while. It's actually half decent. SQQ is the short. So if the Qs are going up, this is going down. There's sometimes a good play. So when the Dow is going down, in the this would go up. So sometimes that works better if you can't do accounts where you can buy shorts. These work good for that because then you can just jump in here and grab this quick little buy and then get it the other way too. Or you can have both. You can have your other one that you're doing long term, and then you buy into one of these guys just to catch the opposite direction for a little bit to cover that. This Webs is the same thing. It's the Dow Jones going the opposite direction. US oil has been looking good. I've noticed lately on the other this thing here in trading investing.com, it's been showing a strong. So we're getting up in let's go over here. Yeah, see, we're gonna start. I used to have a put in here, guys. That's why that's in there. I don't have a put anymore. I covered this, got this little punch there, which was nice. Yeah, we're starting to get the green there. So you put limit order above here. That's what I like about the limits. You can go in here and then it's never ever trigger until it's ready to go. And with that, you could do that and then go below either here, or if you want to be more conservative, come below, this correction with your stop, and then just you only got that much risk. It's kind of nice. If you're looking like I do a lot of times too, you can go here and go, okay, I'll wait till this triggers this sell, and then it'll show me a buy again. I'll wait that out, and that I'm a 200-day on the month here. So that'll bring us above the 50-day moving average, and then there we go. We're riding the 50s just on the weekly, just below the 200. So this is starting to come above your 50 and 200. So you're getting in, could start buying in here and that, or, next day, put a limit order up here and wait for it to go. So that's probably in around here again. Put a limit and wait out. So that's something that I do, guys. We've gone over these Bitcoin and something I've done too, whether it's better to do it in here. No, it's not. I like using Brave for a because it blocks out all the ads and stuff a lot of times. So especially when fins, which they wouldn't like me probably telling you about that, but especially with this app, you get a lot of ads unless you pay for the service kind of thing. So I like it so I can put in here and go, oh, I want the moving average 50 above the 200 day. So I can go in here and then I can reset this down. I haven't done it for a while. Then you can start looking into here. Because the 50 is above the 200 here. We're just doing a little pullbacks. So then you can kind of go through. Sometimes it's handy. I'll come in here just to try and find sometimes a stock that looks like it's broke above the 50 day, but then also it's kind of breaking out too. See this one here, CME group. See, it's pulled back to the trend line. Let's punch in that. Let's go into CME. See what that's showing. CME. I love the freaking trading you guys. Such a great. So why is that showing 50-day above 200 on the other? Okay, we're getting pullback here. So you want to wait for this pullback to finish. So something to keep on the radar. You could, come in here. That's why I have this up here. You come in here and go, oh, watch for pullback. They're drawn in, putting in little notes like this. You can also come in here and throw in some trend lines. Or what you can do to the trend line on here, we can go here to the week. And then we can trend line. There. Trend line there. Come back into the daily. Okay. I'm coming into bottom of that trend line. So, you could be watching for the next day or so when as this is hitting here, it could start doing a dojis along here. So let's go here, guys. I like bar charts. This is Hagenach does it on so then we can kind of see. Go back here the week. One bar. Ooh. So we can go that. Monthly. Make this even better. Now let's go back out to the daily. So see when we came up here, guys, we came up near the top of the trend here. We keep doing. So look at this little indicator too, which is kind of nice. It kind of shows you it's bouncing along the top here. And then we had an inside bar right here, which usually indicates the trend changing. Same with this one. Look at this one. Went way up, but then came way back down and was inside. So that in the evening, you could put a limit order in here for a short and took on this. But we are in an uptrend. So if you weren't going to do the shorts, you just wait for the buy, or you watch in here for this guy to hit the bottom. And then that night, you can put a limit order in above here, and then expecting it to bounce off of that that trend that it's kind of going on. If you believe it's still going to go up, which on the monthly it was showing that way. So then you could just take this all the way up. Then you could just so that's what I'll do, guys, is I'll grab this here just for example. So if I was going to buy this the next day, and I put my limit order here, just above, and then I would put my stop down just below here, below the trend, or in the below the trend line of the stock. So as soon as this gets triggered here into a buy, if you're active in your trading, something I do a lot of times. Okay, so you wouldn't touch it. Then I always move my stop up here, under here. The next day, didn't do anything again, but it also gave me an inside bar, which, like I was saying before, that sometimes can be a trend reversal. So, I have my stop up here. So then it did nothing that. Then this next day there, again, I move it up here, and then we got a sell stick here with the inside. So then this little guy here, good chance you can pull back. So I guess technically you wouldn't have made any money on that, or what you can do, if you don't have a lot of time too, and you just, then you can just keep your stop down here. Or what you can do is go here in the 4 hour, and so then this went up, pulled back, and you move it up under here, next trend. And then it took off up here, did a correction here. So then you move it up under the correction, and then wait for it again, did a correction here. So then you move up under that correction, and then it sold out. Or, like you did here, you got a sell signal, you could just sold it right there too. You want to, or in those spots, when you're hitting the top of the trend, you put a put in here and just make a little money if you're going to hold this for long term. Yeah, because you're above the 50 day here, pretty much. This is not the best stock to do this with, but that's something I do, guys, so that I can kind of figure, yeah, the trend sometimes a little bit better. So let's go back. I think this was PepsiCo. Surprised PepsiCo's not doing good, but it's come topping up here too. This is what I like about this thing, is you can just kind of go through here if you got like some time and find some things that look great here too. Like USNA. Let's check out that. And then a U. Oops. USNA. Let's see, USNA. We're going to buy. And so I like to take this like this. Buy and come back here to the day, see what's going on. It's okay. We're 50 days below the 200 day. Let's see what's going on here. But our stock is above both 50 day and 2 days. So that's kind of going in the right direction where we want. We're also hitting a resistance level here. So that's why this is going sideways. So you can come up here and put a limit order above in case it takes off on you. Or sometimes what I'll do, like we did last time, guys, go in here like this, scroll way out. Oh, we gotta get going. And then get drawing some trend lines here. And then go back to the day. And see what we're looking at. So now we got an inside bar here. So we could pull back here to the 200 day. We could be going sideways for a bit because of the, like I said, we're hitting right here on the thing. Or you can put a limit order up above and wait for it to go. We are going to buy. Look at this. We got in here to buy. It wouldn't have triggered. Then we could have come in here. Then we would have got all this, but then would pull back on us. Which happens a lot, guys. When you get a new direction, it'll pull back to and pull back to the 50 day and it took off. But you weren't really, I guess, be buying. I don't like buying in here anyway because you're below this 50 and 200 day. Now we're above the 50 and $2 day, so you could start thinking about it up in here. If it doesn't, if you don't hit your limit order, then you don't hit your limit order. Something you can just look at, or like I did on that other thing, you just punch in a little note here and go, hey, this is what I'm thinking about. And keep an eye on it. Me myself, I don't normally play around that way unless I'm kind of bored and I got a few extra bucks to maybe think about. Then you could throw something like maybe a call in here, maybe with a limit order or something to see if it's gonna work for you or not, and then just follow from there. But anyway, guys, I think we'll leave it at that. I hope you're enjoying that. And again, check out Lend. These guys, if you have Bitcoin, stuff like that. I myself, I would kind of divert you guys going that way. Oh, before we sign off, as I always do, sticking back to crypto because I like watching it on my phone. Don't always do Hagenachis on that. You do Rinko charts too, guys. They're interesting as well. These guys I used to do a lot of when I used to do CMDs and a lot of the Forex, sometimes I used to which I could jump out here if you want. Let's go down here. I got major Forex. And then you go Euro USD is pretty popular. So then what I used to do is you would then see the trend. More, I guess you would kind of go in this direction. So you can see that you're in a downtrend. I don't know if I can draw, or if I did. Yes, I can. Because this was a bad idea. To get the trend going in the right direction. Yeah, let's stick that right there. So what I used to do with this guys, I used to do the daily, or I'm gonna do the 4-hour team. And then what I would do is if I saw this as buy, or even you didn't even need the indicators on here with the buy or sell, you could just buy put a limit order in here, or I would just buy by market right here. And then I would put in a sell order then on under here. Or sometimes I'd go 2 with the 4-hour, sometimes 2 behind. And then as the stock goes up, I just move this the next day, move this the next day, move this the next day, move that next day, move the next day. Then all of a sudden it would sell then this position on me right away. And then it would buy the short section. So then I would take and then buy a long position, have it in there with double or whatever, so that it would so then I would wait and then put this behind here. And then I just do the same thing, come all the way down. So you just follow it down, follow it down. I used to stay, about 2 behind. But if you sometimes certain, like when I was doing futures and stuff like that, then I would kind of go just 1 behind. And that way it covered me a little bit closer. And then if you want to do long term, this is a Renko charts. Like I haven't done these in a long time. I should kind of play around with it again or put something out. And then you can just do long-term play on these even. Like if you had a month here, you just run this behind. Long-term. It's always nice too here because you can see what trend you're in. You should look at these again. I haven't done it in a long time. You just follow the trend. And that way you let's go back in here, guys. You know what? Let's go back in here and go do like NASDAQ or something. So there's the week on the NASDAQ. You know what I'm talking about? If you had this like stop behind here, you just ride stop, 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 and you just run that stock forever if you want to. Same here back here when it triggered and bought, you're just behind, 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 behind. Next day behind, 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 and it sold you right there. You don't even have to put another. You'll just put a sell, and then just automatically sells your position. And then if you want to be super conservative, you can just do that. You'll because these are presented on strength. So this is like multiple days in one thing. So you will lose a bit, but it's just easier, I find, sometimes in trying to figure it stop. You can use that bar as a stop and follow it forever. some long positions. I might actually go back doing this and just, know your position. And then just as it reverses, um, then you can just buy for this one, looks like it's in a downtrend here. So if you had to buy a short here and watch this all go down with your stock. So when this got this here, you could have bought a call here and you wouldn't have made much on it. Actually probably done now. You might have lost a little bit on that one. Same as that one, but then you got these little guys here. Or you just wait it, wait till you get another red and then buy another position here. And then wait for go that way. That's where if you're doing long-term stuff, it's nice to go here and you just forget about it, just go in at nighttime once a day or once a week and see what it's doing. And if it's not, changed, then you forget about it. Something like this, where you see the NASDAQ here and the monthlies going up, you can go back here to the day. Let's start buying in here. Or you could have got here the month. Month, here the week. And then we could grab this and see where the trend changed right there, guys. Draw a horizontal line. And we're right on that mark. And you also got to buy on that day. So put a limit order here. Let her go. Or you could do, if you want to do a limit order, go over here and then limit order here. Then it would took 3 days or more for it triggered, but gets you in a bit of a better spot sometimes. Or you go follow these two, just follow the bottom until it's triggered right here. Not even triggered there. This bottom one's triggered here. About 50 days, about 200, triggered here, put a limit order in here, and just rode this all the way up to, that's still in the money right there. When you got another buy order here, you can buy another set of shares there, another set of shares there, and rolled it up. I like using these. What's guy the US 30, and this is for the CFDs. But I like them because they run 24 hours a day. It kind of gives you a better idea what the market's doing in the evening to know what in the morning kind of that the market's going to do itself. That's why I'm looking at those ones instead of like looking at the QQQ or something like that. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go because I got some stuff to do today. It's always good hanging out with you. I'm going to move this back into crypto and Bitcoin. Anyway, how clean that chart is. Something you can do too, guys. A lot of times just go in here and go, layout and do like this. And then you take this one and, go Haganachi on one candle, one and this and the other. Or you can split it up between 3 and then you can have your, where's the 3? I got 3 there. Yes, we go. So then we got this guy and then we can do bars. And that kind of gives you an idea what's kind of going on. See what I mean, guys? All this noise. Actually, this has been pretty clean too, but it just kind of makes life good sometimes. Or you can do like 3 or 4 and then put it on, different like your month, week, and day. And 4 hour, like so if you had 4 of these in here, or you had 4 day and week, and then that way kind of you got your trend in front of you. You got, you can kind of figure out stuff and then lock in your spot here too. You can maybe spot a little bit more what you like. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Hope you're having a great Sunday, and we will have another talk another day. Anyway, guys, have a great day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.